This college is one of the best in the country.
I love school about near as much as every kid.
It's important to learn ICT.
It's more interactive and exciting.
Our geography teacher used it to put big maps on the board and stuff.
In our lessons we can use the laptops. You can't just choose a job that needs computers and you don't know how to use one.
I use computers like Google or Word or Internet.
It's easier to do our work on the computers.
It seems a bit more efficient. The school runs better.
The technology these days are getting better and better.
It was quicker and it's more easier.
When you complete work, you can get it to the teacher so they can mark it. You can send it from your account to theirs.
We're able to get onto our files at home.
I must admit, computers are very good.
Anybody comes and looks at our IT system, they say, yep, that's world class.
Technology here is not like I've seen anywhere else. I think the accessibility of it and the amount of technology here, along with a building that's purpose-built for it, it makes it different. Without the funding and without the BSF there, I don't think you would have the facilities to do it.
Schools look into the future. I mean, the internet is here to stay. It's a massive part of young people's lives and it's going to affect their work and everything that they do. So we've invested in that to give them that start.
It's designed around the way that you teach and what's going to go into the building, so the actual the structure of the building's got to flow with the technology.
The biggest impact over this year and the slightly year before, as we sort of moved into this new building, has been the accessibility for all students to materials, to tasks and to guidance at sort of any time and any place.
Having a managed service takes the pressure off the sole technician here. It means that if you've got a problem, you can straight away log it. You can speak to someone at the end of the phone in Ireland and get it sorted out there and then.
Same problem, say, logging onto my machine.
In the old system, I was responsible for 100% of things that were to do with IT. So if a projector didn't work, if a laptop didn't work, I, as the head and then now the principal, would have to come up with a solution. Now within the managed service, the solution is within the hands of Northgate. And that's a huge factor in terms of the time that I'm allowed to direct into my core business about student learning. The challenge I set Northgate was that it had to be better than our previous best. It had to be world class to both internal perspective and external perspective. And it also had to have a degree of flexibility that allowed us through the course of the contract to change the provision. We came away from Windows-based to an Apple-based solution for one of our rooms. And Northgate have worked very, very closely with us to ensure full integration of that Apple solution into the main backbone of the system. What you have to be able to do is have that strong professional relationship where you can challenge each other. And currently we still challenge Northgate almost daily to keep moving the system forward. When we were setting the contract, the handheld technology was not far enough on for us to include in that original specification. And so what we've been doing over the last 18 months with Northgate is running some small-scale pilots of iTouches, of netbooks.
I've got Asus laptops. I use my iTouch and I encourage the students to use their phones in the lesson, primarily because I want the engagement to be increased, and it is probably the easiest and best way to get through to students straight away.
You put a Wii inside a classroom with the kids, the first thing they'll do is pick it up and they'll know their way around it intuitively. And it's the same thing with the iTouches. I've got 10 of them I use in the classroom, so I can split them into small groups of 3. They'll have 6 or 7 different applications on there that they'll have to use at certain times in the lesson to achieve their learning objective. It's the same as if I give them an instrument, really.
We're a Bristol group scheme, and the backbone of the system, the enabled product, was determined with Bristol. The 3 other schools in the scheme, their MIS system is SIMS. Our MIS system wasn't SIMS, and we use Serco CMIS. And we were able to, very late, from 8 months before we came in, to move away from SIMS and retain our Serco system. Now that necessitated a huge amount of work from Northgate to tell us the risk assessment on what functionality we would have, what functionality we wouldn't have, and how we would have to change certain procedures within that. But actually it meant that we had a product that was bespoke to us.
All my lessons I submit onto the MLE. Each class has got their own room. All the members of the class are invited into the room and it's put onto their favourites. So as soon as they go onto the system, they can see exactly which room and what lessons they've got, and it reflects on their timetable as well. Some of their homeworks can be handed in on there as well. They've each got a hand-in folder. I can see the whole class, but they can only see their own folders on there. So it still gives you that sort of security between students. It gives them the sort of independence as well, that it actually puts responsibility onto them to take ownership on their work. We've got forums on each page, so if they do get stuck, they can put the questions up and other students can help them, or I can go online and help them as well. It's using exactly the same way as a sort of social network site, really.
Prime example is my GCSE class. Their coursework is broken down, all the links for their coursework, everything they could possibly need for their coursework, prior examples and photographs and images are all on one page. They go home, they can use that, and then they can upload their work to me, I can check it, send it back to them. And the parents love that sort of thing because they can go on and check.
Ofsted has stated that our children are proud to belong to the college because of the level of provision that we have. Our results in the first year of BSF have shown quite dramatic improvement in that we've had the highest ever GCSE results. And if you go back through the reasons why young people made better progress last year, the building is a big contributing factor, obviously. And the way that the technology supports learning, those are really hard pieces of evidence from Ofsted through into our GCSE results, through into student well-being, that I think are directly attributable to where we are with the IT part of our contractual position in BSF.
The fact that the college can reflect and foster access and skills in digital technologies is better equipping the students for when they leave college and when they go off into the real world.
If it enhances the provision and the life chances of the individual child, then the total experience for students within the school or college will be enhanced through this provision. We have to rely on a company like Northgate to give us pointers and give us direction, and they bring their experience from other parts of their organisation or their other parts of their educational portfolio to the table for Brislington and say, we understand that's your vision, we understand that's your specific need, this is how we think that could now best be met.